So I went on a date today, and I'd like to tell you about this date because it's classic. We started speaking by phone. We've been talking for a week. We decided that we were going to go to a cafe today. And originally he wanted to go to a coffee spot. I'm not big on coffee. So he did the cafe. I get there first. And there's a wait. I put our name on there, but it was like a 45-minute wait. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to just be awkwardly sitting or standing here with him. And, kind of defeats the purpose of sitting down and kind of getting to know each other at a table.
Well, it really depends on the guy. Are you two vibing? Sometimes if you're compatible, if you get along, you could easily be talking and not even feel an hour or 2 hours go by. So if you were feeling that guy in that way, then you would have just stood there with your arms crossed, or you don't have to think it's awkward or anything. You're queuing up. You're not just standing in the middle of the road aimlessly and talking to this guy. You're there for a purpose. You're waiting for a table, right? You could have just stood there and waited while you're talking and getting to know each other. But again, let's not get stuck at every detail. Let's move on.
So we go to the restaurant next door and we get a table. He orders a coffee. I order a water. And then the waitress comes up and says, do you guys want anything? He said, I already ate prior, but I hadn't eaten, so I needed something to eat. So I ordered myself a sandwich. And, it took a little bit, but then the food comes. And prior to that, he'd been talking about all his cars. He just got a Lamborghini. He showed me the picture of the car. You know how when people deposit money into your accounts, you get the text message. So he just got $200,000 deposited into his checkings. Great for you. Nice to see. Whatever. Good. I don't really care. Good. Great. Whatever. So he's talking about all of this stuff, and it's, it's okay. Like, people like to speak about the things they have and the things they do, and that's great. I mean, I'm not big on that, but I don't mind. We're here. I'm getting to know you. So I'm eating my food, and he's like, oh, those smell great. I was like, would you like a fry? So now he's eating the fries with me. And I'm fine with that because I'm like, sometimes when you see somebody else get food, you tend to get hungry. So I'm like, okay, he's fucking hungry. But now he's eating most of my fries. And I'm like, okay, would you like half of my sandwich? He said, no, stuff. So I asked him, does he want half of my sandwich? He said, no, I'm not that hungry. But yeah, you're eating all my fries. So, okay. So the lady comes, and at this point, I'm like, I'm just kind of ready to go. So I asked her for a box, and I asked for the check. So the check was placed in front of me, and the box was placed in front of him. So he grabs the check and hands me the box. So I put my food in there, and I said, how would you like to do this? Would you like to split it? I didn't know how much the bill was, but I was like, this is our first time meeting. I feel like, let me just be kind. Like, I would do it for anybody anyways, but still.
Well, we all sense where this is going. I think this guy is not going to accept to split the bill. Maybe he will want to pay for his own coffee, if anything, but I'm not here to spoil it for you. The reason why I interrupted her is because I wanted to indicate that this was her first mistake. Her telling him, how do you want to do this? And provoked when she was not asked anything. When she brought up the bill first, he picked it up, he held it in his hand. That already shows that he has some masculine energy in him or whatever. I don't know what he took it for. Perhaps he's trying to see how much it is. Perhaps he's trying to see how much his coffee costs so he can pay for his coffee alone. I don't know what he's trying to do. But I'm not going to be the one to break the silence and to ask how you want to do this. That is your first mistake. Again, I already know that she's the victim in this story. She's the one telling us what happened, and I'm not going to blame her. I'm not going to blame her for anything. But it would have been better to just stay silent until he dares to ask you directly. You don't ask any questions first. You don't ask anything regarding the bill. You ignore it. I'm a believer that a man should always pay when it comes to dates, because first of all, the man is asking you out on a date. You didn't ask for it. So he should, at least, if you accept you want to be in his company and you accept to give him the chance to impress you and to woo you or to talk to you, to get to know you, to be his potential romantic partner, if he wants to earn that chance, so he should at least be able to pay for the date. And I already talked about this many times and explained how women have more expenses than men anyway. So it's only equal for the men to pay. That is my perspective. Anyway, I personally think that she should have stayed silent. He picked up the check, he looked at it. She should wait for him to ask, because a man in most cases is going to find it a bit weird and awkward to ask the girl he likes, if he truly likes that girl, if he's truly interested in her, to pay or to hand him some cash in any way. He's not going to do that. So you stay silent. You wait for the guy to ask you in a direct way to pay or to contribute or whatever he's going to do. But what you should not be doing, especially if you're going to be bothered if asked to split the bill or asked to pay in any capacity, if it's going to bother you, then the least you should do is stay silent until the guy asks you, if he does. Because again, you stayed silent, there is a higher chance that he's just going to take care of business. He's not even going to involve you. But if you start jumping on your feet and asking, how much is it? Can we split this and that? Then he's going to get comfortable. He may actually ask you to cover the entire bill. I'm not going to be surprised if he does that.
He goes, oh, no. I'll just pay for my coffee. His coffee was $4 and he gave me $5. So I look at the bill. The bill was $20.50. Mind you, when he pulled out all 5 ones, he also took out a $20 bill and gracefully put that motherfucker back in his wallet. And that's fine. He didn't even pay for the fucking tip. I was so pissed when I saw that the bill was $20.50 that the lady, our waitress, she ended up getting, I gave her $30 on top of his $5, because I said, wow, he couldn't even pay $20.50, but you could brag about having $200K just being deposited, showing me your Lamborghini, your Tesla, your Mazda, your 2022 Bentley. I really felt bad about myself because I'm like, damn, this nigga really didn't want to pay $20 for a bill. I have gone on dates with men who turned out to be bums and they've paid the full tab. And you're bragging the whole date about everything that you have, and you couldn't pay $20.50 fucking cents.
Wow, I don't blame her. It's tactless, cheap, tacky, anything negative you want to call it. This guy, who apparently is very rich and he can afford to, it's not a little sandwich that a woman, he claims or claimed at least in the past to like. It's not that sandwich that's going to make him poor, that's going to make him bankrupt. So he couldn't even pay this woman for her time, for the attention she's given him when he was showing off and showing her all of his nice cars and all of his assets, all of his resources, and displaying his wealth. While he was doing all of that and feeling good about himself, she was sitting there giving him all her attention. She probably has better things to do. At the end of the day, she's going to have to pay for her own sandwich, as we saw. She must find a way to make an income. My point is that she probably has many responsibilities, but she took time out of her day because you asked her out on a date. She's given you her time, her energy, all of her attention. She put on wake up. She wore this nice dress. She relaxed her hair, as we can see. So she is making a big effort to be with you in this specific moment. You, who claims to be super rich, and you're not even going to pay for her sandwich. It's not even about money at this point. It's about being masculine, being capable, being a protector. Even if you were broke and you couldn't be a provider, like she said, she dated men that were broke, but they still covered the bill. It's really not about money. And I hate when men label women gold diggers, this, that, when they don't even have money in most cases. The men that throw around this type of labels don't even have the gold that the woman is going to be digging for. But they still do it thinking it's all about money. But it's really not. The reality is that in today's world, in the modern world, a man cannot really do much to impress a woman. He's not going to build her a house to shelter her from bad weather, dinosaurs and the animals that are in the jungle. Like, he's not going to build a house with his bare hands to shelter her or protect her from all these horrible things. He's not going to grow veggies and wait for the entire year for them to be ripe or come to fruition, for him to finally reap what he saw and give her food to eat, he's not going to really make that much effort to show that he likes the woman, because in the modern world, we just pay for everything. We have everything. Most of us have a comfortable life. Regardless of how much money you make, you can at least provide the necessities. And again, if you have a lower type of income, you will look for rent somewhere where you can afford to. But most people are sheltered, are fed to some degree, and have some clothes. So the only way that is left to impress a woman or to be a gentleman or court her or do something for her is to actually pay for dates. There's nothing else that you're going to do that is going to impress this woman or show her that you truly want her to be yours, want her to choose you, want her to accept your offer because you asked her out on a date. You're offering something as a man. The only way for you to convince her is to show her that you're reliable, you're willing to do things for her. Then she can think that you're going to be a safe place for her. She can get pregnant and rely on you. She can allow herself to let go and hold your hand instead and not be stressed because you're reliable. So if you're going to show her all these assets and all this wealth and then tell her that you're still not willing to pay for the sandwich she had in your company, then I'm sorry, but it is a big turn off and it's not about money. If you still don't understand that, then I guess may as well stay single forever.
I was a fucking cheap date at that. Didn't even get I have been applying for Love is Blind, The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, and I haven't gotten a response yet. And I am begging at this point for somebody to open my damn application. It even says I don't want to date in my area. Look at how this date went. My bill was $20.50 fucking cents. And I managed to go on a date with a guy who gave me $5 towards the bill and didn't even put money towards the tip. You could have gave me the fucking 50 cents. I am so upset. I'm like livid. And then had the audacity to say, can I walk you to your car? I'd rather be walked by a stranger.
Yeah, she's very upset, and rightfully so. A man can't prove his provision ability by dragging home a deer or building a cabin with his bare hands. Modern life took those tests away. So how does he show he can provide? By paying for dates. It's not about the dinner or the money. It's a signal that he has resources, stability, and is willing to invest. And that still speaks directly to a woman's brain, the same way hunting and building once did. Okay, he can't do much to show that he's interested in a woman, that he chose her, that he wants to do for her, give things to her. And again, I'm talking from the same angle I always talk from, which is dating for marriage. He can't do much to show her that he's reliable, that she can rely on him in the case of sickness, of pregnancy, of raising children, when she's busy with little ones, when she's busy breastfeeding, when she can't even sleep because she's heavily pregnant. She has to sit up to sleep because she's getting acid reflux. She has no bladder capacity. She needs a man, a husband that she can rely on. And so that's why he should at least be willing to pay for dates. All the dates they go on as a couple since the day they met, to prove his willingness to contribute and to invest in her and to help and to support her. Then only she can feel safe enough to select him as a potential life partner and husband. And she can trust that he won't leave her behind when she needs him. And they're in these difficult stages that come with building a family and being a mother. Yes, women should be allowed to work, yeah? But we did not fight to have to work and to have to split bills with man. We have more expenses anyway. So any income we make, we'd rather keep to ourselves. That's how it should be. And if we're not making an income, we should be able to rely on our husbands if we are willing to live within their means, without nitpicking and without being demanding. We fought for that. That's it for today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you are a single woman that is actively dating for marriage, because believe me, there still are good men out there. So if you are looking for a potential husband and you need support or guidance, I have built a community for you. Go ahead and find the link for it in the description box under this video, and I will see you there.